Welcome reading number 4. I'm actually so excited because you're the only reading and you're the last reading that both cards came out at the same time. So we are working with, let me put these here so you can see them. The Dragon Path and the Enchanted Spell Oracle. I'm working in such an odd position right now, so I'm so sorry. But these are the decks that we're working with, and if you've never been here before, welcome. And for those of you who are returning, welcome back. And today is actually in real time. It's the 21st of July, and it's the day after the third quarter moon, which is about, it's the seventh phase in the moon cycle. And it's about transition and forgiveness. And then but right now, we've just now gone into the waning crescent energy, the last phase of the moon cycle of rest and restore. So whatever messages need to come through are what need to come through. So I'm going to start with the protection card. I'm going to start with the medieval hedge witches first. Ooh, it almost opened up exactly to it. That's been happening a lot today. You guys are really magical. Okay, so just so you know, I'm going to kind of zoom in a little bit. Just so you know, the hedge witch cards, each one of them represents herbs, flowers, plants, but this one has a lot of different things, as you can see at the top. So I always say whichever one called to you first, start with that one. If you have all of them, work with all of them, you know, that kind of thing. So the keywords in this card are guardianship, sanctuary, and safekeeping. Bay leaves is the representation of this card, though, even though there are many. I mean, obviously there's mushrooms on the bottom, but it's the bay leaves that they want you to work with. You guys, bay leaves are so powerful. Oh my gosh, so many people do so many different spells with bay leaves. They write things on them. I mean, they're just, so research bay leaves for sure. Okay, I'm going to tell you a little bit about them. In Latin, they're called the Laurus nobilis. Bay leaves have long been noted for their protective qualities, both in medicine and in folklore. In the Middle Ages, branches of bay leaves were used to brush away bad spirits and ill health in households that had fallen on hard times. The spicy yet astringent scent of bay brings a sense of freshness and cleanliness to the home. Bay is healing and reviving. I'm outside, by the way, so I apologize for the sounds outside. Not the good ones. No, I know nobody wants to hear speeding cars going by, but the birds are nice. Listen. Oh, I was like, no, they stopped, right? So the symbolism of this card is the priestess of protection stands firm beneath the powerful helm of awe, a talisman for defense against illness and bad luck. She is surrounded by a potent wheel of herbs known for their protective qualities: bay leaves, birch, hazel, lily, lavender, and valerian. The priestess is a powerful healer and one who specializes in breaking hexes and curses, and one who knows how to keep homes and families safe. So you guys are powerful. Where did that come from? Okay, that's really weird because there's literally no electronics here right now. And I've had my phone for 5 years and I've never heard it make that sound. Did you guys hear that? Okay, that was at around 3 minutes. So I'm gonna have to go back and look at this and be like, what was that? That even if it was from somewhere else, it sounded like it was like right here, like under the table, but there's no electronics here. So that's crazy. It was like a little message from the Palladians I felt. Also, on the first page here is on the bottom, it's number 85, which is another witch number because 8 and 5 is 13. It's a very powerful one. So I just wanted to show you that. But you can also take a screenshot if you want of the card to remind you which ones to work with, right? The birch, the hazel, the lily. And you know, if you can't find them in your local shop, there's so much stuff online. There's a really, really great online store that I love. It's from Southern Oregon. It's just a really great company. It's called Mountain Rose Herbs. I believe that's what it's called. And if I remember, or if Spirit reminds me, I will put it, always look in the description box below for things to research throughout the readings. And if you see things from other readings that weren't in yours, but you're like drawn to it, then do it. Because that means it's meant for you. Spirit is telling you like, yeah, work with that. Okay. But yeah, so you can order I think almost all of these things you can get there. And if you can't, I guarantee you could probably, you know, they'll lead you to someone that can. or you'll find it. But just make sure that it's from a good source, right? Like you don't want somebody who's like using like pesticides or like chemicals or stuff on it if you're going to use it, especially if it's something you're, going to ingest or, yeah. So I'll just leave it there. Okay. So the priestess, we read that. So let's go back to this. So the divination is, know that you are protected by a higher force when you draw this card, as well as taking physical security measures to keep. That's an eagle. That's the Great Spirit talking to you. That's literally an eagle. Oh my gosh, you guys. So look up eagle spirit medicine too. Wow, these readings were really powerful. I feel honored to be part of this tribe. You guys are so powerful. Thank you. And thank you for allowing me to be a part of your journey. I'm just the vessel, but it's still an honor. And thank you, Great Spirit. Thank you, Eagle Medicine. Okay. So see, look, isn't that weird that right after, not weird, but that's where, like, that spirit right there, when I just said, know that you are protected by a higher force when you draw this card. And then literally we like start hearing from the eagles. I mean, that's crazy. And the eagle, and especially in indigenous cultures and Native American cultures for sure, the eagle is the Great Spirit. Is spirit embodied in the bird. So that's really powerful. When they're saying that you're protected, you are protected. As well as taking physical security measures to keep your house safe, the added reassurance of psychic protection goes a long way in making you and your home feel secure. Another one I love is rosemary. I like rosemary. I used to keep rosemary sprigs. Now I'm, living home free, but I need to get some rosemary actually. But I used to keep sprigs around everywhere, like over my doorways, my windows, things like that. There's a lot of things you can do. You can do like a circle of protection, like around your home, around your driveway, like things like that. You can do that as well. This is what they call a witch bottle spell. The following enchantment is a very effective protective spell designed to ward off negativity and protect your living space, and has been adapted from Wicca by Dane McCoy. And you can take a screenshot if you want. I'm going to go back a little bit so you can take a screenshot. So here's the bottom of it. So go ahead and take a screenshot. And then here's the rest of it is up here. I'm going to try and go back. I'm trying to fold the book so you can see it. Hold on. Can you see it? Okay, so take a screenshot. That's the second part. Okay, so I'm going to read it, but now you'll have it. Okay, so this says, take a glass jar and fill it with sand to absorb negativity. Hold on. Okay. 3 strands of your hair to bind any ill intent, and as many bay leaves as will fit to dissolve and deflect any negative energy directed towards you. As you fill the jar, say, protected now, above and below, around my space, white light glows. That's powerful. I like that. That's a good one. I should use that too. I feel like that's just like a general. This is like a good general for everybody. Okay, visualize your house, yourself, and your family surrounded by a giant white bubble of light. Know that you have cleansed your home and filled it with protective energy. Secure the lid tightly onto the jar and bury the witch bottle outside your front door. Ooh, that's cool. Now, if you live in an apartment or something like that, I don't know. What would you suggest, Spirit? Because I just felt like somebody was like, "What if you live in an apartment?" Well, you can still bury it out the front door, but I feel like if you can, if they'll let you, put a plant outside your front door and bury it, or like a planter, and like maybe put some crystals and like protection crystals and stones and make like a little fairy garden and bury it like there and put it right outside your door if they'll let you. If they won't, then I would put it like right by your door. That's what I would say. And I'm not hearing anything from Spirit, but if anybody else has any other tips, I'm always like, yes, please, let's all help each other. So feel free to add anything below if you have some other tips for that. Okay, so now we are going to go on to Father Time. This is a good one. I love this card. He's just such a badass. Look at him. He's like, I'm coming for you, but like not in a icky way, but in like a cool way. Like he's not afraid. It's like so like straightforward. Also, look at how they're both straightforward, but if you look at the hedge witch, she's got her arms and her hands in front of her like protecting her, and Father Time is just like wide, like his back is wide open, but his front is not like hers crossed, but he does have his paws in front of him, like, you know, kind of like keep your distance, you know what I mean? Like, even though his paws are kind of turned under like that, he can flip them in a second, right? If he's like, whoa, 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 like, get out of my space. But also, I'm excited for this because anytime I see Father Time, I mean, it's like, how can you not see Father Time and not think of the Akashic record? So, I've been doing this with each of the readings, and I'm going to continue to do it with you as well. Is that I'm reading where the dragon comes from so that you have a better perception of them and you and why they chose you and you chose them to work with. Okay. So, this particular dragon, Father Time, is also the number 4. If that means anything, but 4s are all about stability and grounding. What else did you say? Oh, yes, and laying the foundation. Thank you, Spirit. And laying a good, solid foundation. So, Father Time comes from the Grandmaster Dragons. Oh, excuse me, no, he does not. I'm sorry, he does not. He comes from the Earthwalk Dragons. Hold on, let me find that. The Earthwalk Dragons are the empowerers. So it says, the 16 Earthwalk Dragons support us along our physical journey through life. Each dragon in this clan has the nobility of an old warhorse, big in heart, kind of eye, huge in power, yet quiet and brave. This description applies to all dragons, but in particular to the Earthwalk Dragons. They are the largest clan within this deck. The Earthwalk clan will often represent the action we need to take within our physical reality. This may be in the area of personal growth, healing, exploring our potential, or simply accepting that we are all a work in progress. Learning, exploring, healing, and developing. But we wouldn't be complete without our spiritual aspect, so they also empower us to seek our spiritual pathway, to follow our hearts and be open to the possibilities of the universe. In short, the Earthwalk Dragons are all about guiding us to fulfill both our physical and spiritual potential. Under their wisdom and gently guiding wings, anything is possible, and they encourage us to believe that too. Miracles do happen. So, Father Time says, let yourself sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet and stillness. Father Time is probably as old as the universe itself. This commanding, wise old dragon will aid you to still the constant chatter of your mind and just be. His presence supports our grounding and brings focus to the moment. His aim is that we let go of our linear time, for it is a man-made concept. His energy helps us to enter the void, which is particularly useful during meditation. His message today is, now, this moment in time is a gift, which is why it is called the present. Allow all time to stop and break your habit of clock chasing, because in reality, there is only now. Let yourself sink a little deeper into the abyss of quiet stillness and let go. The man-made concept of linear time is illusionary. It only serves to fuel the doubts in your life. I am here to guide you to a more tranquil way of being, to be fully present in the moment. He goes on to say, the stresses of your existence are often due to your preoccupation with time. Find your point of center, breathe, and let go. Whether these anxieties are from a lack of time or a feeling of not being good enough, nothing is gained by being fretful. Stop setting yourself unrealistic timescales and such high expectations you can achieve without making it so difficult for yourself. You as human doings, us dragons refer to you as human doings rather than beings, you fail to see that much of your stress is unconscious, as it is natural to you as breathing. Recognize this and release it. With this quietness of mind, Father Time aids you in finding clarity in all life situations and helps you to see the bigger picture, allowing you to reach a new level of understanding. Yes, and can I tell you, it's so important for us, especially if you found yourself here. Most likely you're a powerful light worker and a spirit warrior, and if you possess gifts like clairvoyance, clairsentience, claircognizance, any of the clairs, if you're an empath, a telepath, a healer, any of those things, it's easy for us to get wrapped up in our own level of consciousness and in our own ego, when we think we're helping or we think that we're, whatever, it's different for all of us. The other day I had a situation where my husband and I, we were going for a walk in the morning, and I looked at our car and I said, oh no, the tire is flat. And he looked at it and he's like, no, it's not. And he went up and he kicked it. And I'm like, oh, that's so crazy. I swear to God, it looked so flat to me. And then the next morning when we went out, the tire was flat. So I saw the tire flat. I just didn't see the time, because to me, now I've been fighting for such a long time to get out of the third dimensional energy and just focus on the fifth dimensional energy, which can be really difficult to do, because that's really just living in the present and living in the now. That's what it's like. We're not trying to control it. We're not trying to change it. We're not trying to go back and change what happened. We're not trying to go to the future and lay the groundwork, because all that does is confuse us and stress us, and it fucks with us. And I threw a fit because I said to him, I think something's wrong with that tire. You should check it. Because I saw it, I was like, I go, why don't you ever believe me? Oh, and I looked down, it was 1616. So look up that angel number. And if you're new and you've never done this before, you just go to whatever search engine you want and you look up angel number 1616 and go to whichever one comes up. Take a water break. Water is vital to our existence. We're 70% water. So take good care of yourself. But anyway, I got really, really wrapped up in that and took it personally, because I was like, if you had just done that, if you had just checked it, if you. And one of the wise elders that I'm working with right now, I told them what happened, and I was like, I'm like, that kind of stuff like makes me crazy. I'm like, I could have prevented that. And she's like, because in my mind, in my superhero mind, I'm like, why wouldn't I want to prevent that? Why wouldn't I, But on the good side of it, it didn't happen on the freeway. It didn't happen at the store. It was at the house. We had everything he needed to fix it, and he did. But I got all wrapped up in it. And I was like, why won't he listen? I'm like, why won't people listen to me? I'm like, I know, but I don't know. That's why when people ask me, what do you think, Lula? What do you think? Like, when do you think it's going to happen? I'm like, I don't know. Unless Spirit specifically gives me a time frame, which is very rare. I usually will say like sometime around this time, or if like a number or a date, or you know what I mean? Like, in one of the other readings, December came up and I was like, that's, I don't know when it's going to happen or how, right? Because we have free will, and everybody has free will. And the way the world is right now, it's like you can't control things. So Father Time is here to swoop in and say, stop trying to control it. And let me tell you, I am learning massive lessons on control. And I'm also realizing that a lot of people who have control issues are people who in their childhood did not have control. And it can be in any facet or form. In my house, I couldn't control the abuse. I couldn't control the darkness and the things that were happening. All I could do was observe. But now I see things differently. I observe them differently, right? And this is where Spirit wants you to see the big picture. They're always protecting you. Like, they're always watching out for you. That's what the protection card is. So they're like, here you are trying to control things. And, and I guarantee you, especially for some of you that are parents, or like, you don't necessarily have to be the quote unquote mother or father or the patriarch or the matriarch or the divine feminine masculine. But if you are the person in your household who kind of like keeps the tight ship, if you are the one that's controlling everybody because you think, oh, I need to do this and blah, 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 the truth is they will go at your pace and they will follow your lead. And this could be roommates, this could be work. Just remember that they will follow your lead. So, and if you're in a situation or around people that are constantly making you feel like you're not good enough, or that you're not working hard enough, or you're not strong enough, you're not whatever, fill in the blank for your story, right? Whatever that is, number one, that's a deflection of their own shit that they're not dealing with. It doesn't mean that they're bad or whatever. It's just what they're going through. It's their level of consciousness. And if you're at a higher level of consciousness, then part of your responsibility is to do nothing. And that's hard. I know, I'm going through it too. And I said to her, I said to my elder, to my shaman, I was just like, I said, but why don't I go, if we have free will, I'm like, but why wouldn't I want to make my life better and his life better? Like, if we can do that, why wouldn't I do that? And she said, because it's his story to tell. It's your story to tell, right? She's like, it's not for anyone else. So she's like, let him figure out what he needs to figure out. You figure out what you need to figure out. And I said, so I just have to sit there and let him constantly fuck shit up and learn the same lessons over and over until she's like, yeah, because that's your partner. Because I've been trying to like give him examples of things that he keeps doing over and over. And he's getting better, but in certain things he still quite hasn't gotten it. And I'm just like, ah. She goes, what happened? Then you didn't get to do what you wanted to do. And he either could fix the tire or not. Look at this cool rock that I found on the beach. And so, that's what she's saying. Because we're walking in two paths together, Alder and I. But they're not quite the same, just like these two stripes are not quite the same. I bent my nail back today that my finger's bruised. My nail's bruised under there. But anyway, so do you see that? And look at this, even this example. It's like this, they're diverting a little bit, right? And this one's still going straight. And they're like, what the fuck? And that doesn't, if anything, that doesn't make us better or worse or, you know what I mean? Oh, I'm further along on the path. That's the ego kind of being an asshole. Because the truth of the matter is we're both on the same path, but we come from different paths and different experiences. So we have to allow for that to happen. And I don't want to cover up our brother Merlin. Do you see what I'm saying? And I love that I just grabbed this rock but wasn't sure why. And here it is, showing an example of like, so whoever you're walking this path with, it doesn't matter who it is. You have to let them veer off wherever, you have to let them fuck up. It's not your job to control them. And just know that they're going to be divinely protected. And you can pray for them and they can pray for themselves, But you got to do you, and you got to do what works for you and let them do what works for them. Oh, and I looked down, it was 2222. Damn, that's beautiful. That's also the number 8, which is infinity. So look up angel number 2222. Okay, you guys, those are your messages. I hope they helped you in any way. Let me make sure we read the whole dragon path, because sometimes I get excited and then I forget. So Father Time, Oh, I'm going to read this one more time as we exit. With this quietness of mind, Father Time aids you in finding clarity in all life situations and helps you to see the bigger picture, allowing you to reach a new level of understanding. There you go, you guys. Until next time, take good care of yourselves and each other. All of my information is in the description box below and in the About section. And I'll see you next time. Blessed be. Aho.